Hello and welcome again to another screencast edition of Autodesk Maya. Today we are going to establish and set up the stage for our animation sequence. So first of all, what you need to do is at least create a stage and your object that you're going to animate. So I'm going to go to Create, Polygon Primitives, select the box right here for my plane, make sure my width divisions and height divisions are at 1, and pretty much create. So if you look right here, make sure you resize it all the way to the grids from each endpoints right here. So this is pretty good. Rename your plane at least ground or floor, whatever. I'm going to call mine floor. There we go. Next, what you're going to do is go to Polygon Primitives and go to Sphere. Click on that. Be sure to bring your sphere up within the stage that you have. Now, once you have that, make sure you rename it ball or bouncy ball, whichever works for you. So, and lastly, what you're going to do is create a regular camera. The reason why is when you're doing an animation sequence, you want to use at least a separate camera to at least capture the proper renders at its proper staging angle. So what I'm going to do is rotate this and move it back here. I'm going to call this render cam. There we go. Now, once you already have the camera, if you want, when you begin to render everything, be sure to see that the perspective view of that render cam is at its proper place. You can easily access it by going to the viewport menu right here at panels, perspective, and you'll find your render cam submenu right here. Click on that and you'll get to see what you need to see. So if you're ready to place your said object right here, and if you're satisfied how everything looks, you can leave it there. So it's recommended that you leave it there for now, unless you are rigging it to actually pan through. So, but other than that, we're going to keep it simple, have it there and locked. So all you have to do is go to your viewport menu, and there's a little icon right here that says lock camera. I'm going to lock my camera right here, and no matter how I move it, try to rotate it, nothing's going to be done because it's already locked. Now you could go back to your perspective view so you could see what you're doing right here. Now, once you have everything there, be sure to at least go to File and go to Project Window. Call this Ball Animation. You're going to actually animate something. Make sure you have everything in your location at your documents and Maya projects or wherever where you could find it. Make sure you don't make a file within a file. Then it becomes a little bit convoluted afterwards. Once you have that, press Accept. Then all you have to do is go to File and Save Scene As. And then pretty much call this ball animation and you should be set. Other than that, that pretty much covers it for the setup part. There is one last minor detail that you need to take consideration of. When animating, you want to make sure that you don't select any other items or objects but the object that you want to animate. So for example, I want to animate this ball, but this floor is right here. I might accidentally select it. To prevent any selections, what I could do is actually go to my display layer or my layer editor. So go to my layer editor menu and go to layers, create empty layer. I'm going to double click on it and rename this stage. I could even choose a color and sort of color code it so I could tell from the difference from the other layers that I'm going to make. So once you have that, select the third box right there on the stage layer. And what it'll do is go to at least your render mode. So that means So once you have that, it should have everything there. But don't forget, which I actually did. Don't forget to select your object and add selected objects right here. And what it'll do, it'll select that object and connect it to that specific layer. So if you see that third box right here, you'll notice that it's set on R. So that means it's going to stay still. There's no selection. So there's nothing much you can do about it. So and the good thing is that you can actually focus on the animation segment of this part. So last but not least, when it comes to animating a certain object like this ball, be sure to at least delete byte type in history and go to modify and freeze transformations. What it does is it clears all the history that you have done when modifying it, and the freeze transformation pretty much does a reset to 0 on your ball. Reason why I do this is to prevent any extrapolations of numbers, uh, and also having issues of trying to move the object and having to deal with odd numbers and positive negative numbers. I want to at least clean a clean slate for my animation, so it makes it easier for myself to refer back to its normal settings of 0. I do this as a recommendation, and I recommend you to do the same. So again, be sure to clear your history by going to Edit, Delete by Type, and History. Once you have done that, don't forget to go to Modify and Freeze Transformations. That's basically the reset button for your for everything that's set up right here on your channel box. So that pretty much concludes today's screencast tutorial of Autodesk Maya. Thank you.